Hello, everybody. Hope you're all well. Thought I would just do a video on the recent announcement that Donald Trump announced. He announced an artificial intelligence mission, something to do with space or whatever. He named it the Genesis mission. Straight away, as soon as I saw that he called it Genesis, I was like, wow, that's the first book of the Bible in the Old Testament. That's where God made all things and the earth. And that's where Satan deceived Adam and Eve, in the book of Genesis. And Donald Trump has literally just announced he's going to be using artificial intelligence to basically discover things in space or whatever. Really what it is it's part of the great deception we were told was coming. You know, we're told in Thessalonians, you know, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should all believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. I think that's part of the technology they're pushing. I think the great deception's already begun on the earth. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Because this Genesis mission is a lie. They're telling you, like, you know, about space and these different planets. It's all a lie. We know how things are. God's laid it out. He's told us. He set the earth on its foundations, never to be moved. The earth isn't even a spinning ball in the sky. We can debate that. We can debate that. But that's what the Bible says. He set the earth on its foundations and it will never be moved. So the earth's not moving according to God. And all these other planets and all these other different things they keep telling us about, I just do not believe the science. I don't believe the science, because when you research NASA, the NASA logo, you'll see that on the NASA logo, it's got a split serpent tongue on it. So there's that old serpent, the devil again, that deceives the whole world. His tongue is on the logo of NASA. And also NASA, I think in Hebrew, means to deceive. So NASA means to deceive, and they've got a serpent tongue of a snake on their logo. So if you really want to trust the science, you really want to trust them, I wouldn't if I were you. But yeah, this Genesis mission, powered by artificial intelligence, it looks to me like the beast system's rising out of America. It looks like this technology, they're building data centers everywhere. Why? Because everyone that hooks himself up to AI with these chips in the brain and the chips in the hand, they're going to hook themselves up to a machine. They're going to implant chips in their brain. They're going to become a computer, essentially, a robot. And all these data centers are going to be storing everyone's data in them. It's quite sick, really, what they're doing. If you want to know what they're trying to do, if you want to know what Trump and Elon Musk and all them are trying to do, and the tech billionaires in America, they are trying to create one gigantic brain, a hive mind. If you type in on Google, search like a hive mind, it's where everybody's brains are all connected to one. Everyone on the earth is all connected, all their brains. And it essentially is turning the earth into one gigantic brain. It's crazy. It's called hive mind. They're trying to build a utopia and a hive mind. That's what they're trying to do. But that's part of the great deception, guys. Okay? It's part of the great deception we were told was coming. Now, we know in Luke 10:18, Satan fell like lightning. Jesus replied, I beheld Satan fell like lightning. Luke 10:18. So if Satan fell like lightning, Satan's lightning. Lightning is electricity. And electricity powers technology. So technology is from the devil. Lightning's electricity. Electricity gives power to your technology, your lights. Lucifer's this false light, the angel of light. So technology is a huge part of the deception. I saw this coming for a while, okay? I've realised. They started with the small flip phones. Well, it started with the big brick phones, okay? In the like, what was it? 70s, was it? Maybe? 70s, whatever. 80s. They had these big brick phones. They started with the brick phones and they had a wire to them or a dial or whatever. Then they moved to the little flip phones that we grew up with, that I grew up with. I'm 29 now. When I was a teenager, my first phone was a flip phone. You could text and stuff on the buttons. None of this social media stuff. And then we advanced into computers. And then we started to go further and further. We went from the big TVs to the smart TVs, the thin TVs. We've gone from the flip phones to the smartphones. We've gone from a normal ticking watch to a clock to a smart watch. So they've brought it out gradually and they're upgrading every couple of decades. It's part of the New World Order, okay? So this Genesis mission being powered by artificial intelligence that Donald Trump has announced, an AI space mission called Genesis, from the Bible, Genesis. It's no coincidence that there's a movie, a Terminator movie, called Genesis. It's not spelt the same, but it's done on purpose. Genesis. Terminator. You can see a man, half robot, in fire and brimstone, the lake of fire. Because, like Sodom and Gomorrah, I believe America's going to be destroyed by God's wrath. I think fire's going to rain down from heaven and destroy everybody. I don't know. I think because the beast system's coming out of America and its technology. So, the fact that they've made a movie called Terminator Genesis and they've just named space mission Donald Trump has called Genesis. Genesis is the first book in the Bible where Satan deceived Adam and Eve. And also it says how God made the earth and the heavens. And he separated the waters, the firmament. And now we're launching this space mission called Genesis. It's right in front of our faces, guys. And the deception in Thessalonians, where it says the one who's coming with all power and signs and lying wonders. What if he's coming in someone like Trump and it's through technology that he's going to deceive the whole world? What if the image of the beast that's caused to speak is artificial intelligence? And the mark of the beast are some kind of implantable technology in the human body, in the brain or in the hand, because they're pushing brain-computer interface. If you want to transcend, this is what they're going to say. If you want to transcend into space and you want to see these other angelic beings, which are demons, fallen angels, they're going to tell you if you want to transcend and go to Mars, because they want to go to Mars before the planet's wiped out, apparently. Apparently we're going to be extinct by the sun. We're all going to be scorched, according to Elon Musk. Well, guess what? That's written in the book of Revelation. The sun scorches men with heat who took the mark of the beast in the forehead. And he's pushing Neuralink brain chips in the brain. So the image of the beast is going to be artificial intelligence, most likely. And the mark of the beast is going to be brain-computer interface and RFID microchips in the hand. Chips in the head and hand. Pulling it simple. They're going to deceive the whole world with signs and lying wonders through technology to the point where people are going to transcend. Now, you see me in this room now, right? You see my hands, see the wall, whatever. This is physical, right? Reality. Now put on Google Pro goggles, put on a VR headset over your eyes, and this whole room transforms into something different. And you see another whole new reality. What they're doing is creating another whole simulation, trying to trap everybody in it. But essentially, according to the Bible, it's called the mark of the beast and the image of the beast. That's what's going to happen, guys. So I'm going to read you an article now. And yeah, it is crazy what's going on. It really is. So yeah, Genesis, space mission Genesis. And don't forget, when they say they landed on the moon, they called the moon landing the Apollo mission. Apollo, okay, is that like short for Apollyon? Because that's the king over us in the book of Revelation. They had a king over them from the bottomless pit. In Greek, his name was Abaddon or Apollyon. That's written in the book of Revelation. They named the moon landing Apollo. Apollyon. Donald Trump in his mansion on his ceiling has paintings of the Greek god Apollyon. Apollo. They're lying to us. Buzz Aldrin came out and said to a little girl that the moon landing never happened. They never went into space. He couldn't bring himself to lie to this little girl, so he said, well, it never happened. We didn't go. So this whole deception from America has been going on for a long time. The moon landing was fake, and it can be proven if you look and do your research. It was recorded on green screens under a swimming pool. So the moon landing was fake. Then they named it Apollo, and Apollyon is the king over us from the bottomless pit in Revelation. It's Donald Trump, the Antichrist, that worships the god Apollo. Is that why he was the father of the vax? Because we know that Apollo shoots arrows with a bow and arrow, and he cures plagues. Is that why Trump signed off on the vax summit? Okay. Warp speed, remember? I think Donald Trump's connected to Apollyon, the Greek god. This whole thing's a great deception coming out of America.